Welcome to Pagan Coffee Talk, a traditional Wiccan podcast where we will discuss topics affecting the pagan community from a traditionalist perspective. The topics we discuss are picked from our magical hat, and the discussions are unscripted. The talks will be led by Lord Chase Knight Smith, Elder and High Priest of Third Degree, and he's joined by Keegan, First Degree Priestess. Pagan Coffee Talk is brought to you by Life Temple and Seminary.
Welcome to Pagan Coffee Talk. I'm Keegan, and as always, Lord Knight.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine.
We are continuing with Reddit, and I've got this question I found. I'm just itching for you to answer it.
Oh, God.
No, it's a good one.
Okay.
Okay. I'm a female. My partner, who I lived with, is also female. We both are Wiccan. And we both cast circle. We try to be traditionalists. We live along those lines. However, given that we're both females, there's a lot of female energy. How can we incorporate some more masculine energy into our circles to balance it out?
Traditionally, women can channel masculine energies, unlike men who cannot channel feminine energies.
Mm-hmm.
It messes with us. You can still pull a stain in there, which is just a stick with, a forked stick to represent the male energy. It's still going to be hard to pull it in without an actual male there. It will never still be quite the same.
But there are
ways to limit that, yes.
And you would start with the stain?
I'd start with the stain.
Could they, hypothetically speaking, could they just grab a male? Just anything? Say they have a cousin hanging out. He's not in craft. Could they just grab him and just suck his energy dry?
We don't suck energy dry. We're not, psychic vampires per se.
Only because you won't let us.
It's not healthy. They could, if they wanted to. It depends on how, willing that person is.
So you could suck their energy if they give you permission?
No sucking energies, but you could use that energy. It would be better to have somebody that's trained and knows what in the world they're doing that can bring that energy in.
Okay.
I mean, just, having a first degree there would actually help. Or they can even find somebody and train them to do what they need them to do.
Right. This is the only thing we're going to use you for? This is your job, right?
Right.
Here.
There's more to it than that, but yeah, I mean, technically,
Couldn't they use the energies of the elements, the masculine?
Yeah. I mean, and again, women can channel male energies in there. It's just one of them has to flip their script and channel that energy.
It's a good answer.
It can be done.
Particularly for women.
For women. Again, this is not advisable for men to channel feminine energies. It just don't play out well.
That's a good answer. There's a lot of things they can do there.
Yeah. Not that we're actually answering any of these on Reddit, because, we would probably get kicked out.
No, we ain't allowed to answer. We just have to look. And
we're
laugh.
banned. We get banned.
We get... So, although, you tend to be faster at it than I am. You get banned a lot quicker than I do. That was a fun 10 minutes. Now he's gone.
What else you got for me?
Crystals.
What about them?
I hear a lot of talk in the Wiccan community about the use of crystals and their energy.
Uh-huh.
I've never worked with crystals, but now I'm thinking maybe I should.
They can be useful, yes, but they're not all that in a bag of tricks.
Do you use them?
Yes.
Are they all over your altar?
No.
Do you use them during rituals?
No.
Do you even know where yours are?
I know where one of them is.
Right. So that basically should tell you the quality, how we know about the crystals. They're in the back somewhere.
Mine's in a box somewhere.
I just.
I got one I keep in my window, but that's like a healing crystal.
Healing crystals are awesome. I do like the healing crystals.
It's just got extra healing energies for, a little boost every so often.
And if you're healing, you need the boost. Any boost will do.
Right.
It's awesome.
We normally save it for, major stuff.
I can't think right off the last time that I actually used a crystal for anything, though. What about entrapping energies or spirit entities or whatever in these crystals?
You can do that, but again, to trap energies, you have to maintain perfect balance, which makes everything stagnant. So to trap something bad in a crystal, you have to trap something good in there too.
Right. Oh, okay. That's good advice.
To keep it there. So
that's good advice. I don't think I've ever heard that. I've never read that anywhere. Somebody giving that advice. That's pretty good.
But hey, what do I know?
Is it possible for the moon energies to affect relationships?
Yeah.
Well, you got to elaborate.
Well, anybody who's lived with a woman for longer than, 15 seconds.
Wait, was that sexist? I'm thinking, hold on.
I'm thinking.
Is it sexist if it's true? Well, what about not?
No. Now, first of all, the joke there is, in our tradition, most of our females do their cycle on the new moon.
Most.
It seems to be a natural cycle. So, yeah, go figure.
Yeah, but also in our tradition, we have those that will not be named who are very possessive over their moons and will not share it with others.
But I mean, let's be honest. If the moon can affect the tides, and we're 75% water, I think it could affect us.
I would say sure. Emotionally.
Emotionally, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. I've heard of people who get really depressed during the winter because they don't get enough sunlight.
Yes, that's very common, actually. It's
and they actually have to put special lamps in their bedroom and stuff like that to put more light on them for a longer period of time.
The moon is very powerful.
Right. So, sunlight can do that to you. What can the moon do to you?
And it's responsible for werewolves.
I like my werewolves.
Yeah, you do. Okay, well, here's a personal question.
Okay.
The question is...
From Reddit?
From Reddit. Tell me about... Asking the witches here. Tell me about a time when the magic has backfired on you. Are you willing to answer that?
No.
Moving on. He's always perfect. Nothing bad ever happens. No embarrassment here. Okay.
No, well, we don't do spells enough for it to backfire.
It's a shame. It's a shame. We don't.
I mean,
not me.
When we do spells and stuff like that, it's literally like the last option.
Yeah.
Everything else has been resorted.
I don't know why that is.
It's not the first thing we go to.
Is it possible to curse someone online?
Well, it's possible to curse anybody, I curse myself every time I stump my toe. Oh, you're talking different curse.
So you can do it online.
Yes, I don't see why not. I mean, you have an identity online, and that identity can be linked to that person to a certain extent. It's like knowing somebody's name.
Right.
You might not have a big connection to it. It might be vague. I don't know if it'd actually work, but you got to remember when we're talking about by the way, just in case anybody wanted to know and didn't ask, more useless information there. The reason they're called curse words is because they were curses.
I didn't know that.
Right. Think about it.
So we do it all the time.
We do it all the time. They just don't have the meaning like they used to.
I got a good one for you.
All right.
I need. Oh. I need a spell to increase masturbation energy on myself.
What?
Come on now. we want an answer.
Why? Watch more porn?
Oh God, will you please keep in mind these are your people?
They're yours too.
Shh.
I don't understand. What, do we not have enough energy? I'm so worn out, I can't do it. I need to do it more often. I've only done it twice a day instead of my 3 times a day. That's called old age.
He's a new witch.
I don't understand what they're wanting.
I know what they're wanting.
Well, apparently, they masturbate more.
Just do it. You don't need a spell. Just do it.
Use lube, rub that thing raw and hurt.
Whew.
Next.
Do all witches see the future?
No.
Is it possible to learn how?
Yeah.
You have to elaborate. Okay. Not all witches see the future. Why not?
No. Well, I mean, it's like, do all witches have blue eyes or brown eyes or wart on the end of their nose? No, they don't.
Is it possible to learn how?
Yes.
How?
You got to think about certain abilities witches have. When we talk about abilities, it's like being left-handed or right-handed.
Mm-hmm.
All right? It's harder for someone right-handed to learn how to be left-handed than somebody left-handed to be right-handed.
Right.
Because people who are left-handed are naturally ambidextrous because there are certain things we're forced to do right-handed.
Yep.
But yes, somebody can learn how to do something with both hands. This
Are we
is the
back on the
same thing.
masturbation question?
No.
Try both hands.
Try both hands. Sit on your hands until they go numb and maybe feel like somebody else doing it.
See, that's good advice. Now, do you think that as people, we have the innate ability to be psychic, but we lose that along the way?
Yeah, we lose it. We don't believe in it. Again, meditation is a perfect example. You need to meditate every day because people are hoarders and we hoard things. We hoard issues, feelings, emotions, hang-ups, and stuff like that.
Fears,
Doubts. And when you're meditating, and if you meditate and you do an inward meditation, you go through all those issues, you can get rid of them. Once you get rid of all them issues, you can get to your front door and go out.
So everything goes back to meditation.
Everything seems to go to meditation.
Okay. I consider myself to be a witch, but when I cast circle, I like to invoke angels and archangels. Is that wrong?
What you do in the privacy of your own home is your business.
Does it make them less of a witch?
What you do in the privacy of your own home is your own business.
It's your story and you're sticking to it.
I'm sticking to it. You know, if you want to call angels, that's fine. I'm not going to stop you. Now, again, if you're part of my temple and you come to ritual and do that, we might have a problem.
Will they get the energy they need to be getting?
For them as an individual, yeah.
You're not. All right. Answer is you ain't doing anything wrong. You do you.
You do you. In the privacy of your own home.
Can someone, unless you're sitting on your hands, can someone tell me the distinction between high and low magic?
I've heard several definitions. One definition is low magic's just casting spells for money, luck, blah, blah, blah. High magic is more like spiritual work.
Right.
I've heard it described as low magic's just country bumpkin stuff, and high magic's that doing it at this specific time during this specific solar event.
Right.
While the planet's in this house and blah, blah, blah. It really depends on the way you look at it.
I don't think I put a name to it. It's just magic to me.
It's just magic. Doing this high-low thing is just trying to segregate stuff. Magic's magic.
It is what it is, right?
It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless if you're doing it while this constellation's making an isosceles triangle in the house of Jupiter on a Thursday at 12 o'clock, or you're sitting in your house trying to get rid of warts.
Right. Magic is magic. Along those lines, my magic doesn't seem to work anymore. I've been a witch for a relatively long time, and since the beginning of my practice, using the same method, my results using my magic were really great. Now, despite any effort I put into it, it feels as if I'm blocked. Do you have any suggestions or advice to make my magic work again?
Meditate.
That's going to be your answer for everything.
Yeah. Some people believe you only have a certain allotment of energy to cast spells. Certain people believe that you only have a certain allotment of energy to cast spells with, and once you use it up, that's it.
Wait, I'm confused. How is that possible?
Well,
How can you run out of something that you're made of? How can you run out of something that's...
I said some people do. I didn't say I did. I said some people do. You've ran out. You've ran out of your allotment, and you don't get none until 10 years from now.
Well, what if you're reincarnated? Does that roll over? And you get
I don't think so. But then, depending on, what spells they cast and stuff like that, if you're casting a spell every single day, that could be your problem.
And people like to do that for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So your answer would be to meditate.
Yeah, meditate.
Is there any magical exercises or energy manipulation exercises that could help someone develop those skills?
Sure, there's plenty out there.
Besides meditation?
Yeah, there's plenty out there.
Give me one. Meditation ain't working. You've tried it. You did it. It ain't working.
Oh,
you've got a block.
You'd still have to do it. According to our tradition, you still have to do it every day. Let's see. There's one where you stand with your feet apart and your hands spread out, so you're sort of doing the whole pentagram.
Mm-hmm.
the 5-pointed star with your body,
Mm-hmm.
and you hold one hand facing up and the other one down, and you keep on practicing this until you feel one hand heating up and one hand cooling off.
I think that's new to me.
Well,
Have you ever had that problem yourself?
No.
My magic just ain't working. I don't know what's wrong. Could you convince yourself that it's not working? And it's just a mental block you've got there.
Yep. Performance anxiety.
Uh-huh. Belief creates reality and all that good stuff.
Right. But then on the other hand, if you're not using the witch's pyramid and you're sitting there talking about it and thinking about it every 15 seconds, it's not going to work either.
Leave it alone.
God forbid you put it out, post it on Reddit.
Right. I'm going to talk about it and then have everybody else talking about it as well.
Right.
And Pinterest.
And Pinterest.
Yeah.
So much for the keep secret of casting spells.
No. We want the world to know. Here's a good one, and I think I see this all the time. I see it all the time. It's always a new question.
All right.
I want to get into witchcraft.
Okay.
Where should I start?
At the beginning.
At the at the beginning.
For somebody just starting, first of all, you have to decide what you're wanting to do. Are you wanting to be solitary? Are you wanting to be part of a group? If you're wanting to be part of a group, do you want to do a traditional route? Do you not want to do a traditional route? Seek out other people. Seek out people that are of the tradition and of traditionalists and talk to them. I mean, don't ask too many questions because they ain't going to answer too many, but you can ask them, well, how do you feel about your tradition?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about it? Read some books.
Do you have any book recommendations for that? Do you have some that it's like, these are definitely good, these, stay away from those?
I mean, you got like the Ray Buckland books.
The Big Blue Book.
The Big Blue Book. Lady Sheba's book's pretty good. Starhawk. Some of her stuff's good.
Starhawk is great.
Yeah. But, I mean, even these books, I'm going to tell you to take all these books with a grain of salt.
What about the Farrars?
What about them?
The Witch's Bible. Would you say that's too heavy starting out? Or would you say, yep, get that, start it, learn it, love it?
At least keep it around for reference. It's a pretty hefty book and can be a little daunting if you don't have some training.
What about Scott Cunningham?
He's good for a starter, but he leaves a lot of information out.
So find somebody that you can talk to, read your books, and figure out what you want.
Right. Oh, and always ask the question, why?
I think, though, people get nervous and intimidated, especially if they're talking to somebody else.
Sometimes.
They don't want to say why. They don't want, to ask the questions. They want to sit there and be judged and make sure they answer the questions correctly.
Well, I mean, if you're talking to a real traditionalist, the worst answer you're going to get is, that's a mystery, or I'm not going to talk about that.
Right.
It's not a judgment thing. It's not that. It's just we're not allowed to discuss it.
Or you glaze over it and you answer it without really answering it.
Yeah.
You make it sound good when really you've said nothing.
Well, we said nothing then.
Yep.
Right. Sometimes we do that, but I mean, it's not done mean or anything like that. It's just, if you're wanting to know the answer of that, but you're just trying to get a feel of the person.
Right. Do you want the answers? Do you want to make sure they're not going to cut you up into little pieces?
You're right. The only stupid question is the one that's never asked.
Are you sure about that?
Well, I don't know. What do you got for me?
I mean,
it is Reddit. So what do you got next?
A red rock appeared out of nowhere while I was setting up my altar.
Uh-huh.
I'm wondering if maybe is this a gift from the Fae, and if so, do they expect something in return?
If you feel like it is, it probably is. And if you want to leave an offering for it, great.
what if she gave the red rock back?
Well,
Would it anger them?
probably
We want you to
not.
have it.
Probably not, but if it reappears,
Oh my God.
what? You found
Just
something
these
really
people.
wild.
Just these people. How do you cut etheric cords?
Huh?
Yeah. Well, how do you?
I'm not sure what they're talking about.
Somebody said with etheric scissors.
And yet I get banned.
Right. I feel like I'm in a prison and can't explore the world. How do I cut
Me
the
too.
etheric cord? What? I'm going to agree with etheric scissors.
You know, if they're talking about the cord that you get when you're astral projecting, that's different.
Why do you need to cut it?
Right.
You don't need it. Don't cut your etheric cord.
I mean,
You
if
can
that's
do
what they're
without
talking
it
about,
without cutting it.
it really depends on what I'm not sure what they're talking about there.
I'm going to stick with etheric scissors.
Yeah, I am too.
I can't get my pendulum to work. Every time I try to use it, it just stands still. Any suggestions?
Try a different form of divination.
It's not for you.
Or you have a blockage there. Meditate.
Meditate and then try something new.
You know, for the
That
past
is
two
true.
episodes, I think I have said meditate more times than I have ever in my whole entire
That's true.
career.
It is your answer to everything. Meditate.
Meditate. Meditate. Meditate.
Magic and science. Is there a connection? Which I think
Yes.
I heard this on one of our podcasts once before.
We did.
Yes, there's a connection. Yes. Void magic. Does anyone know anything about void magic? I don't. Do you? Oh my God, the internet's made you speechless.
Well, I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, okay, first of all, I mean, I understand chaos and I understand order and I understand how to do magic inside the chaos and I
Right.
understand how to do magic inside order.
Mhm.
And I understand, I think I can explain, you know, certain types of magic, but when you're talking about void, a void is a lack of nothing.
Yes.
There's no energy there to work with.
Right. What are you working with there?
What are you doing in there? I mean,
What's going on?
setting up a
What's
house?
happening?
Is it a little cottage? Do you need to make a stream? Oh, wait, or do we just need to create a universe?
Maybe he's saying void magic, but he means chaos. I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, here's a question about spirit pentagram.
Okay.
Which version should I use? Spirit active or spirit passive when drawing a pentagram? Can you answer?
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I have a migraine now.
They broke my priest.
You should use both at the same time.
People don't like that answer. It's everywhere. This ain't the first time I've seen something like that.
Go figure.
Use both.
Yeah. Try to use both at the same time.
Okay.
I mean, how you do that, unfortunately, is a mystery in our temple, and I will not discuss.
Could they do something themselves? I mean, pulling an idea out of their own head as a way to use both?
Yeah.
Or
it's
is there a
possible.
specific manner that only works?
I believe anybody can do it. It's just learning how.
Mm-hmm.
All right. When we're talking about spirit energy, it is both, but neither at the same time. Spirit energy is something beyond active and passive.
It can be just passive. It can be just active, sure.
All right, but think about it this way. You can't have a push without a pull.
God, get out of my head. I was getting ready to say that.
And they work together.
Yes. They're not opposing. And that's the thing. I think a lot of people go, well, it's opposing. It's not.
No.
They're complementary.
Yes, they work together quite well.
They do.
But everybody wants to think you put these two together. This is like, taking matter and antimatter, putting them together and getting a big boom. It don't work that way. These energies, right, work together.
Yes.
I can understand needing to separate them and use them as individual energies at times for specific reasons, but especially in ritual, I can't see doing ritual without them put together.
And I don't know why you'd want to.
So can we end this question?
Yeah. We end it. It's done. Okay, it's over.
No, I mean on Reddit completely. Can we ban this question? Oh,
can we get rid of it? Can we get rid of it? Gone. Well, I hear it all the time. He's not new. I hear it all the time.
Okay, so we're out of coffee.
I'm out of coffee.
And I guess we'll be coming back in a week and doing some more.
Then. Join us next week as we continue the conversation.
Thank you for listening to Pagan Coffee Talk. I hope you join us next week.
We travel down this trodden path, a maze of stone and mire. Just hold my hand as we pass by a sea of blazing pyres. And so it is the end of our days, so walk with me till morning breaks. And so it is the end of our days, so walk with me till morning breaks.